Welcome to Stock Talk. This week in the stock market, we had Tesla report earnings and, well, they were not very good. My man Elon and company reported that revenues were down a solid 9% from the previous quarter, with profits being down 50% in the year 2024. What is happening over at Tesla Motors? It ain't good. Naturally, the share prices pumped off of this news, up 13% after hours, because what else would it do on an absolutely brutally shitty earnings report? It's gonna pump. I think I'm gonna release a day trading strategy, a day trading course. I'm gonna call it the Costanza method. If you've ever seen that episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza decides that he is going to do the opposite.
I've ever made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat.
What trade to take?
What's up and wrong?
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite. My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
I think that could potentially be a very lucrative day trading strategy. So, course coming on the Costanza method soon. Meta just reported earnings after hours, and they, unlike Tesla, beat their earnings projections. So naturally, the stock is dumping, down about 15% right now in the over-hour session. Now, this could be because my man, the drift out Zuccanada, went on the earnings call and basically just talked about all the different ways that the company bleeds money. Speaking of blood and money, the U.S. government just decided to send another $61 billion to aid in the Ukrainian war efforts, which brings the grand total to a staggering $113 billion sent to aid Ukraine. But did you know that money doesn't actually go to Ukraine? At least the vast majority of it doesn't? No. See, thanks to this lovely chart that you can see here from Yahoo Finance, they posted it on Instagram, you can see that these 9 companies here are who gets the money from this Ukrainian aid. 9 American companies. Now there's some smaller ones, but these are the 9 big boys. The 9 big boys. So that's where the vast majority of the $113 billion has gone to. These American companies. You have Base Systems, Boeing, General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, Honeywell, RTX Corporation, Lee Harris, AeroVironment, nothing like some bombs in your AeroVironment, and Northrop Grumman.
BlackRock owns Raytheon, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and Lockheed.
You see, when there isn't any war happening, all of these companies have all these weapons sitting on their shelves, just fucking collecting dust. All these missiles and tanks and bullets and guns and explosives and, I don't know what the fuck they're killing people with these days. But these companies that make these things, when there's no war going on, well, that's not good for business. What are they gonna pay their employees to do when their shelves are stocked full of inventory? They're gonna have to lay people off. Well, that's not good for the economy. That's not good for jobs. That doesn't look good for anybody. So what actually happens is these companies send all of their old inventory, all the old weapons and the old bombs and the old missiles and the old tanks, and they send those to Ukraine. And then the hundreds of billions of dollars that is going to Ukrainian aid actually goes to these companies to then refill their inventory stock. You know what I'm saying? So when there's no war going on, your inventory ain't moving, you gotta help start some fucking wars. What else are you gonna do? People gotta work, you know what I'm saying? So the government just takes money that it doesn't have and it gives it to these companies to help re-stimulate the economy. It's almost like when we all got those COVID stimmy checks, except for we only got $1,600 and most of us just gave it back to the stock market, and these 9 companies get the majority of $113 billion. They're actually stimmy checks to the industrial war complex. And while we're on the subject of the government making the US dollar worthless, Bitcoin officially had its halving. Now, this didn't have any real major effect on the Bitcoin price yet, but personally, I think this bitch is gonna pop at some point. It's simple supply and demand. The demand for Bitcoin has not changed, and the supply of Bitcoin has now been cut in half. So between the US government spending money like they're my kids at a Chuck E. Cheese and the simple supply and demand situation that we have going on with Bitcoin, in my humble opinion, there's only one place that the Bitcoin price can go. And my friends, that is, she's going up. Last week, Nvidia and other semiconductor stocks finally got an ass whooping after they have been on an absolute tear. And personally, I know some of you may be Nvidia shareholders and wish that it just kept pumping for the rest of eternity, but I'm kind of fucking glad. I know my boomer is showing a little bit when I say this, but I'm over AI. I'm just fucking over it. I'm over the AI hype. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. Fuck the robots. Go touch some grass. Get a girl to show you a boob. Have you ever tried to do that? You know how cool it is to see a boob in real life? Boobs are great. They're even better in real life. Fuck yeah. Oh, and in other news, President Biden would like to raise the capital gains tax to about 45%. Also, we've officially signed the bill banning TikTok, which I'm sure is definitely about security concerns with China. It has nothing to do with the censorship of information. We're good not having control over censoring the information that's spread on TikTok, okay? We're fine with it.